kind of hope that my journey would inspire them and also share with them, you know, as a native from this town, that, you know, what I went through, you know, if God could come through for me, he can come through for them as well. And, you know, that one should not give up, no matter how difficult circumstances may be. You should push on, and you should keep on hoping, you should keep on believing, and have faith in a better outcome. So yeah, that's why we're here today, and we're happy to share that with you. Then in September 2022, I had to go back every 2 months to Cape Town to get a biopsy again. Now, a biopsy itself is a painful experience. They drill a long needle into your hip bone to extract bone marrow. I got that every 2 months. I had one now a month ago. I'm still in remission, thank God, praise God. But now I don't have to get them that often anymore, because they're not really worried about me anymore. But in that September 2022, after the whole ordeal of suffering, the biopsy was done and the doctor came back to me, Dr. Kaz, he said, Noreen, we found cancer blast cells in the biopsy. And I thought, doctor, you must be joking. After everything, you want to tell me I'm back to square one again? We were devastated. We obviously didn't know, what does this mean? Does it mean the transplant failed? We didn't know what to expect. But you know what? I remembered the Lord said to me, you will live and not die. I remembered the Lord said to me, the enemy cannot claim what does not belong to him. I remembered the Lord said to me, no weapon formed against you will prosper. I remembered the word consistently and I spoke it. I declared it consistently over myself. They gave me more stem cells and they gave me targeted treatment, and then in the January when I went back again for a biopsy, I was in remission, and I'm still in remission. I just want to speak a little bit about love, faith, and support here. Like I said, I have many prayer partners. I cannot thank everyone enough. These were the messages that kept me going. The visitations, the encouragement, my family, prayer partners, the well wishes from everyone, friends, my school friends, the doctors, the nurses, work colleagues. Psalm 91, I held on to that consistently. I was very blessed at work. The board of directors, normally this is something I just want to touch on. A lot of cancer patients lose their work. They lose their jobs. Because after a while, when you're in and out like this in hospitals, then the work says, sorry, we can't keep you anymore. Some of my friends lost their jobs like that. And that is devastating, to lose your income while you are fighting for your life. I was once again fortunate and blessed. The Lord intervened. The board of directors sat, they considered my case, and they decided to give me the time off. And I'm extremely grateful for that, because not a lot of companies would do that. Like I say, many of my friends lost their jobs while they were going through this traumatic experience. So the support, the family, this is the things that keep you going as a patient. These are my angels, the doctors, the nurses. This is the nurse down here with the purple hair. She was the one that did the vampire tricks with me for our son. I met her now again when I went back to Cape Town. It was great to see them. Radiology, psychologists, psychotherapists, social workers, dietitians, there's a whole list of them. These people really live a purpose. They do. Every day when they show up there, we tend to forget they are also just human beings. They have their own problems. They have their own households. But they have to lay that aside and take care of you. And And like I say, I felt really loved and taken care of. The doctor up top here is Dr. DeWitt. He's the one I fought with over my son's stem cells. He was very angry at me. The one down here is Dr. Cass. He's my main hematologist now in Cape Town. He's the doctor that had to give me all the bad news. The other doctor there in the center is Dr. Kronoff. He's the one that sat with me and prayed with me when the going got tough. He's the Christian doctor. The one doctor here on the left, Dr. Simba Kudukwashe, he's my hematologist now in Windhoek. He saved me many times from many vicious infections. I had, about a year ago, I ended up in ICU again due to a lung infection. And yeah, Dr. Simba knew exactly what to do. And I just want to point out, at the time where I got sick, there wasn't a hematologist in Namibia. We didn't have infrastructure, nothing. Now, on Wednesday, the 11th of November, Dr. Simba did his first bone marrow transplant in Windhoek. I'm so grateful for that. It really moves me, because that patient doesn't have to go through what I went through in another country. I am happy to say, and I'm not praising myself in any way, that Dr. Simba used me as the case study to sort of convince the sponsors and the relevant people that we needed to do transplants in Namibia. So I had to share, obviously, a lot of the gruesomeness in my story, and especially the financial part as well. And that convinced the relevant people that we should start doing transplants in Namibia. We cannot do the exact, or let me say we can't do all of them. Remember I said there's more than 100 different kinds of bone marrow cancers. But we're starting small, and we will get there eventually. We just thank the Lord for this, because they don't have to go through what I went through. We're very grateful for that. I've also, my sister said I must put this in here, so I'll put it in here. I've also, because I do write, predominantly in a corporate setup, but I also I am a writer. So what I did was I started advocating. I wrote articles and stuff that got published, advocating for patients or employees in the workplace. Like I said, because many of them lose their jobs. So I started, putting the light on that and pinpointing it and encouraging employers to start, they can take out, if you're a big enough company, you can take out death benefits and stuff like that for your employees, and you can cover yourself if an employee is gone for 6 months or 7 months of the year. And I'm grateful to say that, once again, the company that I work for, they actually implemented that policy or that benefit after I made noise about it. And I'm sure there's other companies as well that took note of it, because a lot of people contacted me afterwards to ask about it. There's also other things that companies can do, like work from home for a period of time while you are still sick or recovering, those kind of things. There's lots of things that can be done to accommodate people. And the reason why I'm saying that is because also just take note that these things are not going to go away, people. There's no way that we can just turn our heads and hope that it won't happen anymore. It happens, and it will continue to happen. And we need to make better plans, and we need to accommodate our people more. In Namibia, we are just 3 million people. It's not a lot. Cape Town has almost 20 million people alone. We can take care of our people better if we stand together. We really can. Okay, I'm just gonna run through this. This is when I returned home. Healing was not easy. As you can see, lots of infections, mouth infections, blood bubbles and stuff in the throat. It was quite a situation. I still battled with CMV for another 6 months. I had a battle with C. difficile bacteria infection for nearly a year. I had many infections and hospital admissions for 2 years. I had severe PTSD. So me standing here today is in itself a miracle because yeah, it's not something I willingly choose. This is the new person. This is where I started becoming human again. Just one of those verses, very special. He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. We are healed. Believe it, no matter what the diagnosis says. I just want to point out my blood type changed after the transplant. I am not the same blood type anymore. I've got my donor's blood type. I'm now what they call a chimera, meaning I'm a genetic copy of someone else. Obviously my own cells are growing as well, but yeah. I also got a different hair color. My hair color is a lot lighter than what it was. I colored it again because it felt weird. You look in the mirror and you're like, initially I thought I'll just leave it because you really don't care about hair after such a situation. But when I had to go back to work, I looked at myself and I thought, oh, I don't think the people will recognize me. Maybe I should do a little something here. And then above all, I'm a different person. I'm not the same. You change on a journey like this. Like I said, you start realizing what is really important, and some things are just not relevant anymore. There's some things that I don't care. I'm honest when I tell you I don't care about it. I care about my loved ones. I care about those whose lives I can still impact. Above all, the only thing I really seek now is the presence of God, because that's what carried me. And it's a place where I feel safest and happiest. This is me now, navigating the in-between place. For this past year, I still got what you call polygam treatments. Once a month, I go in and I get these treatments. They're basically just to boost my immune cells because I still have the immunity of a young child. After everything, I had to get all my baby vaccinations again, every single one of them. So I'm 4 years old now. I've got the immunity of a 4-year-old child. That's why earlier I said to the people, forgive me, I cannot kiss you. I still have to protect myself. I just want to read this quote to you because this hits home to me. It's a book of a lady that went through the same thing that I did. And when I read it, it really just felt like somebody understood me. She says every single one of us will have our life interrupted, whether it's by the ripcord of a diagnosis or some other kind of heartbreak or trauma that brings us to the floor. We need to find a way to live in the in-between place, managing whatever body and mind we currently have. And that is it. You live in an in-between place. For me, it's even weirder because I'm here, but it also feels to me like I'm on the other side, one step there. So sometimes it's difficult for me to manage this world. I've changed as a person. I have a lot more compassion for people that go through sickness and disease, but at the same time, I don't have a lot of patience for people that is very hung up with pride and things like that. Because there's no time and place for these things in life anymore. There's people with real problems, people that are dying, people that are going through divorces, people that are going through ugly things. We should get over ourselves and show kindness and compassion and things like that. Not cling on to me, myself, and I. That is not important anymore. Like I said, that's my dog, Amy. I got Amy after I failed psychology 4 times. For the whole PTSD, the doctors kept on sending me back to psychologists, and I just couldn't connect. I kept on feeling that they don't really understand what I'm trying to say. And eventually my sister said to me, Noreen, I think you are the problem. I said, why do you think I'm the problem? She says, you must be the problem because the doctors can't all be wrong. And I realized I am the problem. Because in my mind, for me, it was a thing of unless you went through the same thing, you don't really understand. And that's why I'm here today, to be a witness for others. That's why I told you things like how not to treat patients. Because sometimes people don't understand that. Anyway, Amy helped me. She's my psychologist. I started walking my dog, so I started getting out more. I started telling her things that I couldn't tell other people, so she listens, and I'm doing much better now. This is the walking, talking miracle. This is where I'm at now. I've regained my life in a way. I will never be the same person again that I was before, but I've learned to live in the now. I'm not hung up about the past. And the future, one should also be willing to adapt to. You cannot make plans, and plans change, so you cannot always live in the future either. You need to live in the now, because we only have now. So yeah, I have wonderful friends, beautiful family, everything that is always there to support me. We as a family are grateful beyond measure. We just want to thank everyone. While I'm standing here, so I do the thanks, Donnie. Thank you, Donovan, and his wife, Daphne, Eleanor, Dr. Strong, who left, Bubbles, thank you, Cindy, Lincoln, thank you, the committee, whose names I can't remember all now, please don't crucify me. Thank you to my family. Thank you to everyone else who has supported us. And if there's anyone else, but thank you to all of you for coming today. Come and listen. I hope that my story encouraged you somewhat. Now I want to answer 1 or 2 difficult questions, and I'll give you the floor to ask me some questions if you want to. One of the first things that I asked was, why did you spare my life, Lord? This is a hard one for me because, like I said, in the past 2 years, my friends and colleagues were dying all around me, and here I am. Every time somebody died, I felt like guilty for being alive. I don't know how else to say it. I felt guilty. Every time somebody dies, I feel like, Lord, why did you save me? And he answered me. He actually answered me. The one time he said to me, to be my witness. That's why I agreed to be here today. I am not somebody that likes a lot of attention on myself. But I'm here because he asked me to be a witness. The other thing he said to me, I said, yeah, Lord, I understand the witness part, but why? Why me? Why the human side of me wanted to know? And he said something that I didn't expect, but I realized it's the truth. He said to me, because you didn't ask me to spare your life for yourself. I didn't. I said, Lord, if it's your will, give me more time for my son, for my husband, my loved ones, and anyone else you want to reach through me. And that's the reason why I'm still alive, because I wasn't selfish. other question I wanted to answer is, would your loved ones go or stay given the choice? The answer is very simple. If they know Jesus, they would go like I wanted to go. You actually want to go because you get tired of the suffering. You don't want to be here anymore. You don't want to suffer anymore. It's not that you don't want to be here anymore. You don't want to suffer anymore. And then you feel like, Lord, just... That's why I said, Lord, if you're going to walk through that door now, I'm going to go with you. I'm not going to stay behind. Not because I don't love my husband or son or my family. Not because I don't want to live anymore. Because you get tired of the suffering. And the presence of God is so amazing that when He enters that room, when He's there with you, all that you want is just to be there with Him. So if your loved one died knowing Jesus, I assure you, they wanted to go. And if you need to let go of them, you need to let go. Because they wanted to go. But for the ones who don't know the Lord, that is your job. That's why you are still here today. If you don't know the Lord, I have to encourage you today. You have to seriously ask yourself, can the devil claim you? Or can he not claim you? And that is a question that only each of us can answer in our hearts. You know what your relationship is like with God or with Christ. It's not a difficult thing to do. And I'm not talking about denominations and different churches. For too long, people have been fighting about churches and denominations. I didn't meet the Lord in a church. I'm very honest when I say that. I met Him at the most difficult time in my life. Not religion, not going to church, not doing the church things, but being real with God, being naked in front of Him, telling Him, Lord, I'm angry at you. Lord, I'm suffering to forgive. I'm struggling to forgive this person. Help me to forgive. Being real with God. Somebody once said to me, how do you talk to God like that? I said, what's the point in hiding anything? He knows everything anyway. I might as well tell Him, I'm mad at you. I'm angry. I'm hurt. How could you let this happen? Be real with God. It's the only way that you get to form a real relationship. If you're honest and open and direct. Because He knows anyway. There's no point in you lying or hiding things. He knows anyway. I just ended with this quote here. And that is my journey for you today. I hope I encouraged you and I inspired you.